কোত্থেকে শুরু করবো? Because it's a very special episode for me. You're the first musician, also currently not a musician, my show. So, Maher, how's life?
Strange, but in a good way. Been married 10 years after. What, 10 years? Wife's gonna kill me. Married since 2011. Let's say
Let's
that.
stick to that.
Have a 2-year-old daughter. She's turning 2 this month. Back on, my whole life is her. Just my daughter. Work and daughter. That's it. That's what life is right now. No time for nothing.
আমার চোখে মানে when you used to play, so আমার মাথায় এখনো পিকচারটা আছে যে you are playing, because that's where we spend most of the time, either on stage or আড্ডাবাজি. So now that তুমি বললা যে তোমার life is revolves around your work and your daughter, it's hard for me to picture that for me. So now that it all revolves around that, I don't have kids. I don't have a family of my own. So আমি খুব বুঝতে চাই যে জিনিসটা, like you are a creative person. তুমি করো না করো, that's your choice, but you are a creative person. How is it মানে একটা creative মানুষের জন্য to have a family, a functional family, and also having a creative mind? How do you মানে prioritize the whole thing? আমি এটা নিয়ে খুব প্যারা খাই whenever I think about myself যে আচ্ছা maybe I'll settle down, maybe someday I'll have kids, or I don't know, but আমি এখনো মনে করে fathom করতে পারি না জিনিসটা যে how to go about it. So it will be a very interesting.
Well, I haven't stopped being creative, or
Exactly.
I try. It's just being a creative person, you need some sort of an outlet. So for me, it was music before. Now the work that I do, the business that I run with my partners / friends, my part is creative. So it has to do with designing, right? So it's got UI design, but websites, applications, software, basically. So that part's there. It's just a different type of creativity, right? But a lot of the same principles still apply. That it's sort of কি বলবো crossfade করছে জিনিসটা,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So and it's a way I can make sense of it to you. তুমি বুঝবা যে ওই সেম প্রিন্সিপালগুলো আমি এখন আমার কাজে লাগাই. It kind of works the same way. So for my creative outlet, that's there.
It's there.
Having a family is a completely different game, right? It's something that a lot of people understand who have families, but এখানে তোমার creativity, you end it as soon as you walk out of the office.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you get home, and it's a different kind of creativity because you have to spend time with your child. If you have a child, you have to spend time with your child. You have to show him or her the person that you are, or the person that you aspire to be. So age is not a straight line.
Yeah, that's what I was going at.
You kind of work your way around and try to make sense of it in a way that your family, especially your child, understands. So
It's very interesting. মানে আমি চিন্তা করি মাঝে মধ্যে জিনিসটা যে আমি কি কখনো এই জিনিসটা পারবো. I don't know how to go about it, so I'm always like tangled in
that's the scary bit of the thing. যে আমরা কখন ভয় পাই যখন you don't know what's ahead, or you know what's ahead but you don't know how to go about it.
Yeah.
So that's the scary part, যে আমি জানি না এই জিনিসটা আমি করব কিভাবে করব, right? So you figure it out as you go, and that's তোমার ওই ভয়টা becomes an experience, an exciting experience, a positive experience, যেটা আমি আগে পারতাম না হয়তো 2 বছর আগে বা 5 বছর আগে, ওটা এটা এখন আমি পারি, and that has completely or dramatically changed who I am now. right?
It's very interesting take. I'm trying to gather all
খুবই
the information.
high level কথা
Yeah, I guess I'm not that mature yet.
No, but the point of it is that you learn as you go.
Yeah, that I get it. So তুমি যখন music, when you left music, 2011, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So অনেক কিছু change হয়েছে. I'm sure you know, you're very aware of it. But back then there's no Spotify. We have Spotify now. Streaming wasn't this big.
Yeah.
YouTube বলা
It's
যায়
probably
বলে
not a
wasn't-
thing even. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
এখানে at least.
we আমরা গাড়িতে বসে গান শুনতাম সিডিতে
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
want
yeah.
to share music.
Yeah.
So Spotify is there, YouTube is there. There's this thing called TikTok. I'm pretty much sure you know about it. So বাইরে এখন যে মেজর লেবেল যেগুলো আছে, যে লেবেলগুলো আর্টিস্ট এখনও প্রডিউস করে, বিগ আর্টিস্ট, they've moved their marketing strategy of how to promote an artist. আগে ছিল ধরো অ্যাডভার্ট, তারপর টিভিসি বা সামথিং প্রমোশনের জন্য অ্যালবামের। এখন দে মুভড অন টু দিস থিং কল টিকটক। বাইরে কিন্তু এখন ইট ইজ হিউজ। সো আই ওয়ান্ট টু ask you যে if you are still making music, would you cater to this way নাকি তুমি তোমার ওল্ড স্কুলেই থাকতা?
Interesting question. তোমার মার্কেটিং আমি মার্কেটিং সম্বন্ধে অত ভালো জানি না।
Same here.
But what I understand, from my own experience, I can tell you, whatever new technology comes out, if you do not capitalize on that, you're missing out, or you'll fall behind. So, if TikTok means that you can throw yourself out there, you can market yourself, then go ahead, do it. TikTok has, specifically TikTok, has a tainted reputation.
It started with a tainted reputation.
Yeah. So, and with all the, it's not a controversy actually, but the fact that they record all keystrokes is actually a thing. So anyway, it's got a bad name, but people are on it like anything. So you have to take your stuff to the people. That's the whole point of marketing yourself, right? এখন কেউ টিভিসি দেখে না, কেউ
There's no radio airplay.
রেডিও প্লে নাই, right?
Yeah.
So তাহলে তুমি কি করবা? You have to take your stuff to the people. Where are the people?
Yeah.
On TikTok, on YouTube, Facebook,
Instagram,
wherever,
yeah.
Instagram. You take it to them.
So you would have done it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But the way I would have done it is something else.
How would you? Acha, let's talk about it. যে ধরো, in a parallel, different world, you're still doing music. How would you do it?
Well, the simplest answer is that if you're aesthetic with your music, you have to be aesthetic about your marketing as well.
There you go. Absolutely.
Because you'll ruin your identity if you কলসির মধ্যে তোমার চেহারা পেন্ট করে টিকটকে যাচ্ছ, it's not who you are. You know what I mean?
But apparently, Maher, এখন it's so goddamn true. যে এখন the more you fake it, you make it. আমাদের সময় বলতে ধরো তুমি আমরা যখন talking about ধরো 10-এর আগের এরাতে মিউজিকের যে জিনিসটা, অ্যাটলিস্ট আমি বাংলাদেশের কনটেক্সটে, আমাদের ব্যান্ডের কনটেক্সটে বলছি, যে তখন আমরা মিউজিক করতাম, আমাদের যেটা ভালো লাগে, obviously that comes the priority first. আমার গান ভালো লাগতে হবে, বাট উইথ দিস ডিজিটাল স্ট্রিমিং ওয়ার দ্য নাম্বার থিং কামস, যে নাম্বার এখন হচ্ছে সব কিছু নাম্বার। সে ধরো আ সং দ্যাট ইজ ভেরি ইনঅডিবল। আর সেদিন জুবাইর আমার একটা কথা, সরি জুবাইর আমি একটা জিনিস কথা বলতেছিলাম যে there are certain bands who has huge numbers, certain artists, তুমি হয়তো চিনো না, আমি হয়তো চিনি না, হিউজ নাম্বারস। ওদের গান যখন আমরা শুনি, যে গানগুলো হিউজ নাম্বারস, নো ডিসরেসপেক্ট টু এনিথিং, বাট আমাদের টাইমে, অ্যাগেন আমাদের টাইম হচ্ছে আমরা যখন মিউজিক ঠিকঠাক মতো করতেছি, জুবাইর ওয়াজ সেইং যে দোস্ত এই গানগুলা যদি সুমন ভাইকে তার কম্পাইলেশন অ্যালবাম যেটা আগন্তুক বের করতো এবং দূরে ভাই যেগুলো বের করতো, তাদেরকে যদি এই গানগুলা দেওয়া হতো ব্যান্ডগুলো থেকে, যে আচ্ছা আমরা এই গানগুলো দিতে চাই, it would have been rejected left and right. You know what I mean, right?
For sure.
For sure. And I was like, he's so dead on right. He made me think, actually, just because there are numbers, my brain consumes this is it. Bigger number.
Big numbers translates to what? Quality music? Of course not.
Yeah, but
Of course
মানুষ আমাদের সময় আমি বারবার আমাদের সময় জিনিসটা টার্মটা ইউজ করতেছি, আই নো আই এম রং, বাট আমি যেটা বলতে চাচ্ছি আমাদের সময় বলতে when I was in black and he was in Nemesis. So ওখানে কনসার্টে there was no phone and everything. I'm not talking about যে আমাদের টাইম বেস্ট ছিল, that's a boomer thing. I'm not saying that. But যারা গান শুনতে আসতো, যারা কনসার্টে আসতো, you could see যে sometimes ওদের energy is driving you to perform
Yeah,
out of the
sure.
box, right? যেটা তুমি
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
করো না
yeah,
কখনো,
yeah.
Maher. You did it because the crowd drove you like that. এখন ওই নাম্বার দিয়ে কিন্তু তুমি অডিয়েন্স কোয়ালিটি you cannot just
No.
you
Absolutely
can't.
not.
So whenever I see artists and bands কথা বলতেছে যে we need to go for bigger numbers because that's where the game is right now.
That's where the money is.
That's where more shows are. Judge have bigger numbers, your pages. So এই জিনিসগুলো তো তুমি পাও নাই. I consider মানে তোমাকে আমি অনেক মনে করি you're lucky যে you left it all behind before this went downhill. So how do you মানে তুমি কি করতা? মানে it's very hard for creative people to be sane in this sort of algorithm or whatever. What would you do?
It's difficult to reconcile the idea of big numbers with music that you think, as a musician, quality music that you're creating, right? মানুষ আমাকে পাগল মনে করবে তো for
আমরা
saying
পাগলই।
আচ্ছা তুমি আমাকে বলো,
হ্যাঁ।
what do you think of Kanye West?
Great question.
In one line, what do you think?
A crazy, super talented person.
So you think he's super talented?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't get it. I personally don't get it, right? I gave it a shot. I tried to listen to his stuff, and I was like, what's the big deal?
What's going on here?
What's going on?
Huh.
Huh. And then I read up on it, and I found that I wasn't alone.
Oh, there are a lot of people
Yeah.
like that. Absolutely. Jay.
They agree that Kanye West is just his whole gimmick. Huh. He's not as talented as people make him out to be. This is all what people are saying, right? And a lot of it I agree with, and a lot of it I don't. But the point of it is Kanye West has massive numbers, right?
It doesn't matter what
But
we think. About it.
does that number reflect the quality of his music? He's a musical genius. I don't know. The term genius has been downplayed over time.
Okay, hold on to that. There are a lot of terms like that. King,
King is one, yeah.
masterpiece. You think? I don't think এগুলার কোনো ভ্যালু আছে।
Value নাই because মানুষ naturally ওই superlative এ চলে যায়। হ্যাঁ, it's not okay, it's not good, it's not better, it's the best. একবারে you jump to the best.
একদম হ্যাঁ।
So ওটার কোনো value নাই তো, value থাকবে না। So he's the king, he's the master,
She's the queen.
absolute genius, he's the prodigy. These words in value দিনে দিনে কমে যাচ্ছে।
But এই যে Kanye West's কথায় আসি, তুমি যেটা বললে যে it doesn't make sense to you at all. But there are other person they think যে ওই যে যেটা বললে যে oh my god, like super genius and everything.
Yeah.
আমার কাছে when আমি first Kanye West discover করি, early Kanye West, I felt like যে he tried to do something different. আমার কাছে মনে হয়েছে because তখন it was this thing called mumble rap. Do you know?
No. Mumble rap.
Mumble rap.
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah. So যখন mumble rap শুনবা, mumble rap শুনে when you go to Kanye West, I think you will be like, okay, no, background noise হিসাবে Kanye, this is better. So something like that.
But let me rephrase.
Huh.
He's a genius in a way, not necessarily musically, But as a business person,
He's
for sure.
absolutely genius.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Because in the business of music, you need the numbers, you need the exposure. ঠিক আছে? And he's got both. And there are other things as well, sure. But as a business, he's done great for himself.
Absolutely.
You
And
know?
for America.
Yeah. Hey, man, where you have chickens? Let me not finish that.
Right. Maher, you know, I think about it, যে ধরো, when I heard one of the first album, when I heard Obocheton and everything, all the songs from that album, তখন না, it spoke to me in a way যে আমার কানে আমি যে ধরনের গান শুনে আসছি, I could relate to that with your album. The problem with এখনকার music, with me, again, my opinion, only mine, exclusively mine, is we rush into something like super quickly. আগে একটা তোমরা যে গান বানাতাম, আমরা যে গান বানাতাম, এই গানটা বানায় ধরো জ্যাম করতেছি তো ধরো 2 সপ্তাহ 3 সপ্তাহ 1 মাস 2 মাস আমার একটা গান, রাইট? অ্যান্ড দেন উই ডিসাইডেড, আচ্ছা গানটা, আমার যেটা হয় যে 2-3 মাস বাজানোর পর কিন্তু মনে হয় যে গানটা আর ভালো লাগতেছে না, ইনাফ। দ্য প্রবলেম দ্যাট আই ফেস নাও, যেটা আমি এখনকার গানের মধ্যে পাই, সেটা হচ্ছে যে বুঝতে পারি যে এই গানটা পরশু দিন বানানো হয়েছে, গত পরশু দিন দে কাম আপ উইথ সামথিং and they just released it the day after. And the problem, the bigger problem is there are people around and surrounding, যেটা হচ্ছে এখন মার্কেটিং যেটা হয়, এই জিনিসটাকেই মাস্টারপিস, কিং হ্যাজ স্পোকেন, সো আমাদের টাইমে এরকম মাস্টারপিস, আমরা কেউ কিং ছিলাম না, উই ওয়ার কিং অ্যাজ এ ইউনিট। মানে সবাই মিলে there was a change. এখন এই যে, what do you think, how far this thing will go? এই devaluation of, like, you know, a musician.
Firstly, if you're into music or you just started doing music, you have to kind of ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it because I want to be famous? Is it because I want to be popular? Because I want to make money? Or is it a means through which I express myself? Right? Because there's a difference between the two. আমরা যখন মিউজিক করতাম, আমাদের কাছে হয়তো একটা মাস্টারপিস লাগতো, রাইট? বাট আমার কাছে যে জিনিসটা মাস্টারপিস, তোমার কাছে না হইতে পারে। But the reason why we did music is because we love to do music. It's because আমাদেরকে হেল্প করতে, এটা এক্সপ্রেস করতে, রাইট? বিকজ ওয়ার্ডস দিয়ে আমি যেগুলো বলছি আর গিটার দিয়ে ওর ড্রামস দিয়ে whatever, it's very different. It's hard to explain.
It is very hard.
It's very hard to
Yeah,
explain. Now, if you want to do music to make money, then you can put out a song in a couple days, right? Again, going back to the business of music, the whole business is, তুমি একটা পিস অফ মিউজিক দিয়ে কত টাকা বানাতে পারবে, ওই মিউজিকটা কী হবে, গানটা কী হবে। It has to be something that the general populace likes, right? কোন 3টা নোটে তোমার কোরাসে হিট গান হবে, you know? So you feed that into the song. So it's not a question of what the song deserves or what justifies the song. It's about what justifies the money using the song, right? How you can make all that money. So again, the question is, why do you do music? You know, you have to answer that.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people right now think about this question. Why do I do whatever I do? I don't think এটা কি এখন
with the, you know, এখন তো সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া
এত ফাস্ট হয়ে গেছে, এত চিন্তা করার সময় নেই।
Everybody's on social media. And everybody has an opinion. Everybody can do music.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. এই যে আমারই তো ওপিনিয়ন আছে যে boomer type এখনকার music আমার কাছে there are great musicians out there Maher, amazing musicians out there, they can do wonders, but I feel like they're just not realizing why they're doing it in the first place. That is the only problem that I can আমি মনে হয় যেটা
rap is a category যেটা আমি জীবনও ভাবিনি আমি শুনবো, এখনো শুনি না, বাট র্যাপের হিস্ট্রিটা কি, র্যাপ কেন আসছে, রাইট, কোথা থেকে আসছে? oppressed black people in the West, they needed an outlet, right? So they started rapping. তখনকার র্যাপ আর এখনকার র্যাপ, what's the difference?
It's mumbling. That's the difference.
People do rap now because it's cool.
Yeah.
People do rap because it makes money, right?
Have you heard there's a huge surge in Bangladeshi rappers? কখনো try করছো?
I don't know, tell me.
There are a lot of rappers out there. It's very hard to name them because I mean honestly, just being honest, অত শোনা হয় না. But yeah, there are some good ones. Good ones মানে ধরো যে প্রপার প্রোডাকশন, আগে তো হচ্ছিল, আগে যেরকম ছিল ট্রাই করতেছি, এখন যেমন ট্রাই থেকে বেরোয় দেয়ার অ্যাকচুয়ালি ইনটু প্রপার প্রোডাকশন অ্যান্ড এভরিথিং. So you should try. I'll give you some names.
I mean, it's good. It's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be যে তোমার you need a reason why you're doing rap.
Yeah.
You can just simply like it. But again, why are you rapping? That's an answer you have to find.
এই ওয়াইটা আমার মনে হয় না যে আমরা এখন যারা আমরা যে শুধু মিউজিক না যে কোনো জিনিসের সাথে I think that this question যে why am I doing this, I don't think people ask that often. Okay, let's talk about a very interesting topic. আমি জানি না এটা কারোর সাথে ওইভাবে আলাপ কখনো করা হয় নাই, but people always ask me this and I wanted to discuss this with you. Why living something that is already a brand, already established, already, big. Say I left Black and you left Nemesis. You actually didn't only left Nemesis, to me music ছেড়ে দিছো, professionally music করা, and I left Black. So people always ask that, and মানুষ যেটা হচ্ছে nostalgia hit করে যে that time, ওই টাইমটা অনেক ভালো ছিল when you guys were together, the original OG lineup and everything. So I want to ask you, when you left music, I don't want to know why you left. I just want to know যে when you're leaving, যখন ছেড়ে দিচ্ছ, what was the thought process, that the thing that you guys built over the years? নিজেরা গান জ্যাম করছো, রাতের পর রাত রেকর্ডিং করছো, you spend so much good times together, played in front of lots of people, toured the country. So এই সবগুলো, if it's a box, how did it feel to take that box and leave it somewhere else and walk out the door?
Well, it's not a straight answer.
Yeah, that's
it's a lot to talk
discussion,
about.
yeah.
But I absolutely had to compartmentalize my thoughts at the time. এটা শেষ, প্যাকেট করো, সরাও, নিউ ফেজ ইন লাইফ শুরু হচ্ছে, ফোকাস, রাইট? বিকজ up until the time I left music, I think, it had been some 13-14 years that I had been doing music. So it wasn't definitely not easy to just packet kore shore rakha, you know what I mean? But এটা তো it may seem that one fine day all this happened. No, it was happening over
to us, to me it felt like Maher just decided to
just one fine Sunday morning. No, that wasn't the case actually.
And that's why I want to know, how did it feel to a part of you, a big part of you, just like I'm done. How did that transition,
again, crossfade. Crossfade. So the old things that my old ideology, way of thinking, uh, that kind of crossfaded onto my new, right? So as I transitioned, i.e., eventually stopped doing music and kind of started the new life, right? The generic life everybody, for whatever reason, aspires to have. Get married, have kids, the whole 9 yards. I didn't know that I would want that, right? But in my head, something, I don't know. I can't say that something wasn't right, but it didn't feel fulfilling, right? I thought that there's more. So I took this route. I don't feel 100% fulfilled or, oirokom kichu, but I see myself, reaching that point at some point. But it's definitely, it's different. It's different. I don't know what I'm saying at this point.
No, I get it. I get it. Trust me. I get it. I totally get it.
It's different, but it was going back to the music part. It was not easy, definitely. Ato bochor dhore kora, and then suddenly, because you said you don't want to know the reason, but the reason that I had was big enough
To influence
kind
you
of,
to
yeah. A lot of people leave for, just simple জিনিস যে কথা কাটাকাটি হলো ছেড়ে দিলাম হ্যাঁ আমাদের মধ্যে কথা কাটাকাটি হয় নাই
It's a hobby.
Definitely
It's a band.
right?
It must happen.
But you look at the bigger picture, right? So অনেকে আরো অনেক ছোটখাটো কারণে ছেড়ে দেয় but whatever the reason, I'm happy that there are people who respect the decision, right? And then there are those who
Didn't.
I don't really care about them. They've shown their true colors over the years. Anyway, but oiti je it's nice. The change is nice, right? And I look back and I see it being a phase in my life, a very big phase.
So you think
But a
that
phase nonetheless.
the musician Maher, is a phase in your life? That's what you're trying to say. That's you're implying right now.
It was a phase in my life. Yes,
Okay.
definitely. For me.
Yeah. Do you know, Maher, that phase of your life, koto manusher is the most important part of their life?
Listen, man.
No, I'm just.
I like you,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Like for
You
me
probably
too.
wouldn't know me
Yeah.
if I didn't do music, right?
There you go. Right out of
Right.
the bat.
Still, if you, I don't know, if you take yourself out of your body and you go far, far beyond, miles above, and you see how ridiculously unimportant that part was in your life. It can be music, can be anything.
Anything, yeah, whatever.
Right?
Your
I'm not
past life.
specifically talking about. So in the grand scheme of things, right? This was a phase, right? You zoom out of Earth and you keep going out. Everything that's happening around you, everyone you know, everyone you ever knew, everyone who ever existed, is smaller than a grain of sand.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things.
Absolutely.
So this does not matter. It's like enlightening. If you can think in that way, it's enlightening how ridiculously irrelevant everything else is. You start to question what the heck am I doing here?
What is my
right?
purpose here?
What's the reason behind my existence? So these things obviously chinta korte korte kind of directed me.
Super interesting. Yet to me, you think it's a phase of your life. Let me tell you my part of the story as a discussion. Now that you've mentioned all of yours, I want to. So, when I left Black, I remember that Ami Charar Age din I sent this mail to the rest of the band. Like, যখন first Black যখন মিউজিক করা শুরু করি, the way I started, the way it all happened, very organic, blah blah blah, সবার একই story, same story. You started playing, friends started playing, something good happens, something bad happens, then so I love that journey. So I'm specifically mainly লেখা ছিল যে I love that journey, and that journey আমাকে তোমাদের সবাইকে এখানে আনছে. And if we want to name that journey, if we want to brand that journey, যে এই জার্নিটাকে আমরা একটা ব্র্যান্ড করে we will make our move next phase-এ যাব আমরা. যে it's a brand now. The thing that ticked me off is just rest of the band members, they were saying it's a brand now, we cannot walk out of it. So আমার মেইলে ছিল যে সিন্স আমরা একটা জিনিস বানাইছি, আমরা আরেকটা জিনিস বানাইতে পারবো, ভালো খারাপ পরে আমরা আরেকটা জিনিস বানাইতে পারবো. I think it's the saddest place for an artist is to chase themselves. This মানে আমার ওপিনিয়নে this
Agreed.
is the
Absolutely.
saddest situation. That means when you just pack up everything and you leave. That for me is that. So ওই রকম সিচুয়েশনে যখন this started, I still remember, আমার band member, তখন টনি জাহান, আমি straight বলছি যে I don't see myself like তখন with আমাদের big bands like LRB, Miles, Warface, all these big bands, they're still doing shows. Not LRB, but yeah, Miles, Warface, all that, which is great. They're up there always entertaining people, amazing for them. I don't want to live like that. I said that to all my bandmates. I don't want to live like that. The day I stop creating for myself, that day I'll stop. Totally. I just don't want to take, ব্ল্যাকের 10টা 15টা গান হিট গান আছে, ওই 15টা বা ওই 10টা গানের ফর্মুলাকেই করে আমি আরও 10টা গান বানাবো, 20টা গান বানাবো and keep doing shows. That's not me. So that was my ideology behind the whole thing. I don't want to do it like...
Totally makes sense. You're the guy who asked, why am I doing music?
Yeah, and I keep asking
and
myself.
And you got the answer.
Yeah, and I keep asking myself every day.
So you guys got together, formed Black, and then Black became a brand. It became a monster.
In their words, not my
It
words.
did. It did. It became a monster that you guys now served. That was the problem for you.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, right? I applaud the fact that you stayed true to yourself and you left for a very good reason, right? Because you don't want to do that just for the sake of doing that.
I could have earned a lot of money.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
I could have done it like...
But the reality is this. তুমি যে কোনো ব্যান্ডের কথা চিন্তা করো, হ্যাঁ, once that band starts earning some fame, it starts to become this thing that goes out of control, right?
Out of control, but এটাও ঠিক যে out of control হয়ে যায়, of course, but you always have to ask yourself, why are you doing it?
Sure.
Right. Every day in, day out, you're going in front of audience, like whatever the number is, and you ask yourself, why are you doing it? একটা খুব মজার কথা বলি মায়ের তোকে আজকে. চিরং 2004 or 2003 আমরা শো করতে গেছি. সো মাইক্রোবাসে আমরা ভেন্যুতে উই রিচড, মাইক্রোবাস থেকে আমরা নামবো, ভেন্যুতে যাব. সো হঠাৎ করে all of these hands, মাইক্রোবাসে, it looked like a zombie apocalypse, I swear. I freaked out. Tony, Jahan, everything, Tashan, Miraj, we all like, what is this? What is happening? Master notice and everything. And I remember asking later, Tony or Jahan, what if someday all of this isn't there? Would you do music? Would you still do music? The reply, it still stuck, like we replied, stuck with me like anything. The reply was so weird. I was like, সবসময় এরকম আজে বাজে কথা বলো. And I was like, what? I asked something very important right there. কেন বলো আজে বাজে কথা? ওই দিন I got it, like, okay, maybe we are doing music completely entirely
Again, you
for it.
asked the why.
I always ask
That's
myself
crazy.
why. I always ask myself, কেন করতেছি?
Yeah,
And I ask them, dude, এগুলো যদি না থাকে, would you still go and do it?
Most people are like, what's the
They got
point?
scared.
এগুলো যদি না
They're like,
থাকে।
what are you talking about?
This
কেন
is the
থাকবে না কেন?
reason why I'm doing music. তাই না? এগুলো না থাকলে আমি থাকবো না।
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well,
Crazy. I don't
turns
know.
out.
So we're in such a weird, now that you're not doing music professionally at all, আমাদের information, আমরা music এখন কিভাবে, you do use Spotify at times, right? Yeah, okay. So আমরা যেভাবে আগে গান শুনতাম, মায়ের যে একটা তো আমরা তো মিউজিশিয়ান, আমরা গান শুনতাম, আমাদের হিয়ারিং ইজ কমপ্লিটলি ডিফারেন্ট, বাট যেভাবে কনজিউম করতাম এখন কিন্তু কনজাম্পশন ইজ কমপ্লিটলি ডিফারেন্ট। দে ডোন্ট গেট টু দ্য বটম অফ আ সং বিকজ দে ডোন্ট হ্যাভ টাইম। Me and Jamshed actually was having a talk. যে ধরো Artcell came up with a new song, but Nemesis came up with a new song. It's just a song and a music video right now. It gets hits, it gets views, that's it. No one cares about, no one talks about এই গানটা কোথায় রেকর্ড করা হয়েছে, কে এটার সাউন্ড করছে, who did the sound designing, how did the song was like, কিভাবে থাকেন all this information যেটা আমরা সিডিতে পাইতাম, mixed and mastered by. So এই যে একটা a lot of people যে লিরিকটা কে লিখছে, কোথায় রেকর্ড হয়েছে, এই ইনফরমেশনগুলো ইজ কমপ্লিটলি নো ওয়ান, গানই অ্যাকচুয়ালি শুনে 30 সেকেন্ড, টু বি ভেরি অনেস্ট।
ভাই গান তো খালি ছোটই হচ্ছে দিনে দিন।
Yeah,
it's 350, that's your top, হ্যাঁ 4 হলে মানুষ শুনবে না, 4 minutes মানুষ শুনবে না, 350 হতে হবে। You have to shove everything you have in there in 3 minutes and 50 seconds. কিভাবে করবা? আর তোমার যদি ফার্স্ট 7-8 সেকেন্ডস যদি, ভাই আমরা কি করতাম আগে, আমাদের সুন্দর একটা ইন্ট্রো থাকতো, হ্যাঁ ইউ বিল্ড আপ আ সং, হ্যাঁ
বিফোর ইউ
ফালাও সব ফালাও,
কিসের বিল্ড আপ এখন
ভাই সব এই যে রেডিও, সব রেডিও প্রবলেম। হ্যাঁ রেডিওতে এর চেয়ে বেশি ছাড়া যাবে, এই পার্ট ফালাও, ইন্ট্রো ফালাও, আউট্রো ফালাও, ফেড আউট করে দাও,
রেডিও এডিট।
হ্যাঁ এখন অল দ্য সংস আর মেড ফর দ্য রেডিও, অ্যান্ড স্পটিফাই হোয়াট ইজ দিস বিগ রেডিও,
হ্যাঁ
দ্যাটস অল ইট ইজ। ঠিক আছে, সো দ্যাটস ওয়াই এই যে অ্যাগেন দ্য বিজনেস অফ মিউজিক, তোমাকে ওই যে বড় বড় রেকর্ড লেভেলরা তোমার গান নিবে, এই গান 4 মিনিটের বেশি ফালাও, এই গান 4 মিনিটের বেশি ফালাও, এটা কম, এটাকে রাখো, তারপর এটাকে শর্ট লিস্ট, এটাকে শুনবো, ভালো লাগলে তখন রাখবো অ্যালবামে।
ধরো কবে যদি এখন রিলিজ হতো গানটা, আর যদি তোমাকে বলতো যে the solo is great and all, but
ফালাও
what would you do?
এখন যদি হইতো মানে প্রবাবলি উইড ফ্লিপ অফ দ্য রেকর্ড লেবেল, হ্যাঁ, অ্যান্ড এভরিবডি উড বি অন দ্য সেম পেজ, বিকজ আমরা
Rebel.
হ্যাঁ রেবেল না হলে মানে, বাট দিস ইজ হাউ উই ওয়ান্ট ইট।
This is what we are.
তুমি কাটতে চাও কি কাটবা, আই ডোন্ট নো তোমার ওই দুইটা বার কাটলে তোমার গান কত আর ছোট হবে, আই ডোন্ট নো কবে কত বড়,
I don't remember.
probably under 5 minutes.
Okay.
I don't know. Which is মানে saying a lot.
5 minutes
5 minutes under তোমার 4.5 minutes.
5 minutes তো এখন progressive rock music is 5 minutes.
That's true. মানে তুমি চিন্তা করো যে কি what's the song, Dream Theater কি Seasons?
Change of seasons.
But can you imagine that song existing in this time or something like that existing? আর ওটা নিশটা কি হবে, 5 জন শুনবে,
5 জন আমি বলি ব্যান্ড মেম্বাররাই।
আচ্ছা যাও,
That's so bad joke.
10 জন শুনবে,
Yeah.
তুমি শুনবে, আমি শুনবো, জামশেদ শুনবে, আরও 7 জন অ্যাড করলাম, ঠিক আছে, আর এই 7 জনের মধ্যে হয়তো 5 জন, আচ্ছা এই অ্যালবামের এই গানটা আমার কাছে খুব ভালো লাগছে, এটা সাউন্ডটা কে বানাইছে, আই এম ইন্ট্রিগড, দ্যাটস ওয়েন আই গো অ্যান্ড লুক অ্যাট লেটস সে স্পটিফাই তো যদি থাকে যে সঙের ক্রেডিটস কার, হ্যাঁ, বাট আনফর্চুনেটলি কে প্রডিউস করছে, এর করছে,
আমি নিজেই দেখি না।
none of the information is there.
Exactly, আমি নিজেই দেখি না।
But
But
you really have to go digging on the internet যে এই গান, তারপরে আমি তো বলি Eagle Eye Cherry's
Save Tonight.
Save Tonight ওই অ্যালবামটায় Was it a single? Safe Tonight?
Safe was a huge, massive single.
It was a single. But I think it was called Desireless, the album.
All right, okay.
So album-এর বেশ কটা গান, ওখানে the drummer, nobody knows this guy. তুমি ইন্টারনেটে গিয়ে খুঁজো, পাবা,
হ্যাঁ।
eventually পাবা, but you have to dig really deep.
Hard, হ্যাঁ।
That drummer, মানে আমি যখন মিউজিক করতাম অনেক ইম্প্যাক্ট হয়েছে আমার ওর গান শুনে জাস্ট ওই ড্রামারের জন্য। কি ওরা ধরা
বাজাইতেছে।
ওর চেয়ে আরও হাজার হাজার ভালো ড্রামার আছে, নট সেইং দ্যাট, বাট দ্যাট গাই, ওর বাজানো, হি প্লেড ইট ইন আ সার্টেন ওয়ে দ্যাট ওয়াজ ভেরি ইন্ট্রিগিং, বাট আমি খুঁজে পাই নাই। আমি আজকেও যদি খুঁজে আমি পাবো না। In my head, I've imagined this guy kind of looks like Eagle Eye Cherry himself, very lean guy, very athletic. Turns out he's a white guy with long hair, chubby, but drums are combined. I'm like, damn, bittersweet. But yeah, ওসব information নাই এখন।
I don't know how to go about it. Just do you listen to new stuff? মানে এখনকার ব্যান্ডগুলো শোনা হয়?
Not really, আমি generally শুনি না।
But কানে পাশ দিয়ে যায় নাকি?
I've heard of some names, but not really
their work, but their music.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, not really.
Okay. Fair enough. So, let's talk about your iconic song, Kobe. I want to talk about it because the riff and the solo, মানে গানের structure নিয়ে কথা বলতে চাই না. It has become very iconic.
Why is it iconic?
Very good question. To me, it's iconic because it spoke to me at that time in a very different way that I acquired Nemesis before.
Mm-hmm.
Agir album, it was very most of the garnered structure was very low string riff based. Kobe was completely a departure from that.
Yes.
আগে ছিল mostly drop D and more gainy stuff. ওখান থেকে Kobe, it's a major shift from Nemesis. So that's how it spoke to me. So why? I'm pretty much sure it came naturally.
Yeah.
There's nothing forced. So why do you think যে এই জিনিসটার এত impact এখনো মানুষের মধ্যে আছে?
Kobe is a radio song. In a way, if I explain it,
it is.
It's
absolutely.
a radio song. It's a song that a radio station would like to play. Why? Because it's very listenable. It caters to the mass audience. Any Tom, Dick and Harry,
they can go like, oh, this is, yeah.
যে শুনছস খুব জোস গানটা, বাট ওটাকে অ্যানালাইজ করতে বলো, দ্যাটস এ ডিফারেন্ট গ্রুপ। গানটা শুনছি ভালো লাগছে, কেন ভালো লাগছে, দ্যাটস আনাদার গ্রুপ। বাট দ্য মেজরিটি ইজ শুনছে ভালো লাগছে,
শেষ, এখানেই ডান।
ঠিক আছে। গানের কথায় কি বলা আছে, লিরিকলি মানুষ হয়তো রিলেট করতে পারছে বা বুঝতেছে, বা জোহার যেটা গাচ্ছিল ওইটা সামহাও জোহাদের পেইনটা ওর এক্সপিরিয়েন্সটা ওরা ফিল করছে সামহাও। আই ডোন্ট নো হোয়াট ইট ইজ। Kobe was, it's more, it leans more towards pop হচ্ছে popular, right? So it's got those elements in it, obviously. It's a more sellable song, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So, did you know this will be this iconic so far? যেমন এখন নেমেসিস বলতে মানুষ কিন্তু এখনকার the generation যারা শুনতেছে, they signifies Kobe as Nemesis. Do you know when you যখন বানাও, you thought this is going to be like this?
We don't give a damn about that. We didn't care who would listen.
That's why Maher Khan is here. Because you did it because you wanted to do it.
We didn't think of the outcome.
Who has time for that?
Because as soon as I do, Kobe will become something else, or any other song for that matter.
Do you know এখনকার
তো আমার জন্য বানাচ্ছি
most of the artists, and I say like with angst, এই আর্টটা pretty much non-existent.
Because it has converted into the art of business, bro.
But সব কিছু business কেমনে হয়?
সব কিছু business. সব কিছু business. All about the money game, তাই না? At the end of the day, money is the superficial thing that makes you happy. Right? More money, more happiness.
So
Right.
there has
Whereas
to be
there are people, dumb bleeps like us, who
just
who
talking.
think otherwise. Say, nah, I'm gonna make my 5-minute song, 5.5-minute song. I'm gonna build a song, build it up, have a punchy chorus that I like, have a like melting guitar solo or whatever, and be happy with it. Not have to worry about how this thing is gonna get me money. Right?
I think এখন মানি থেকে আরেকটা জিনিস সবচেয়ে বড় যেটা it's another pandemic to me. It's the fame.
Fame translates to money.
The cheap.
The more famous you are, the more money you make.
It makes sense.
ভাই তুমি কিছু না করে, মানে কোনো ইন্টেলেক্ট না ইউজ করে তুমি একটা ইনফ্লুয়েন্সার হতে পারো, and you can have some 20+ million followers, right? Because I don't even want to say this.
Don't say it. We need to
Oh,
speak
man.
about it.
These guys on TikTok, it's so enraging.
It is the perfect term. Enraging. Yeah.
You know, they have the TikTok look. You know, it seems to me like at a minimum requirement ase to be on TikTok.
How douche can you be?
Yeah, like you have to be a skinhead on the side and have dyed hair, and you know it has to go in one direction, and then you've got to somehow smack a girl across the face dramatically, and then the girl comes back and gives you food. What the hell, man? What the hell is this?
Imagine এগুলোর পিছিয়ে নেমেসিসে কয় বাজতেছে
কিছু বলার নাই।
Dude,
এর জন্য আরো লম্বা লম্বা গান বানানো উচিত, ঠিক আছে? জাস্ট ফর দিস ওয়ান রিজন। সব তো এখন মানে ভাই মানুষ টিকটকে গান বানায়। দিস সং তুমি স্পটিফাই মানে পরে আসে, ইউটিউবে খুঁজো, ফার্স্ট প্লেস ইউ গো, কোথায় যাও? ইউটিউব গো লুক ফর সং, পাবা না। বাট ওটার সাথে তুমি যদি টিকটক অ্যাড করো, স্পেড আপ ভার্সন বা স্লো ভার্সন, ইউ ফাইন্ড দেম। বাট দে অরিজিনেট in TikTok. TikTok is some guy called Luke, spelled weirdly. He made this song on TikTok. Now he's his own boss.
really?
Yeah, he's making big bucks and you know all that. A nice guy, nice fellow, you know.
But
that's how
not
he does
nice
it.
actions.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, TikTok. We can talk about TikTok the whole night. It's so weird. All right, so you don't play guitar anymore. As we were speaking,
Don't,
to both
yeah.
তোমার হাত ব্যথা করছে last time when you.
yeah. Last time I picked up a guitar, just string ধরে, it felt kind of alien. You know, ডান হাত বাম হাতে কোনো
Coordination? What?
But it's like, who are you? I don't know you. Coordination নাই, you know.
Seriously, like that's weird, man. I mean, I've never pictured
It's God,
Maher
man.
Khan
Me neither.
saying যে আমার গিটারে টান হাতে. What? That's
Nice.
weird, man. I can't imagine that.
Nice.
Oh man, I'm অনেক nostalgic হয়ে গেছি তোর সাথে কথা বলতে বলতে. So when Opportunity came out, এর আগে I remember you used to play with this is another band that you played. I just
Before Abhachethan came out?
before during there's this band
Probably after.
probably after হতে পারে.
রুমি ভাইয়ের সাথে?
Right, রুমি ভাইয়ের সাথে তাহলে অপরচুনিটি পরে.
Yeah, পরে।
Right, my bad.
হ্যাঁ। মানে অবচেতন দ্য সিঙ্গল
Single,
অবচেতন মিক্স আপ
Mix up পরে, তারপরে
I think I mix up my timeline.
Yeah. And then you played with a lot of people, say over the years. You played with Fuad. We played in a couple of occasions.
Yeah, we did.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was super fun. And then you played with Habib once,
Yeah.
right? So all of this experience, all of like এখন you being a মানে rock musician তখনকার কথা বলতেছি, মানে তোমার মেইন জিনিসটা ছিল রক মিউজিক, ফ্রম ওখান থেকে ইউ প্লে উইথ Fuad and Habib. How was it back then to shift the character just like that? And you are Nemesis, you are Maher Khan, and you're playing with Fuad and Habib, which is completely a different world.
Fuadke, let's keep him aside for now.
Okay.
Habib and Ornob,
Oh yeah, you played with Orm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
all their music is very different from Nemesis, right?
Yeah.
But they kind of asked that, can you do this in this part of the song? And then that led to something else. And then, we were playing live. But they required some very specific things from me, which weren't very far from what I did,
Acha.
right? So, guitar দিয়ে দোতারা বাজানো, none of that stuff, right?
এখন তো দোতার যুগ চলতেছে আবার।
Fuad,
background
Fuad, Fuad হচ্ছে গিয়ে, Fuad is not, he's like many guys in one body, ও সব ধরনের জিনিসই পারে, right? So playing with him was like very easy.
হ্যাঁ, ওদের সাথে কাজ করে is always very easy. It's just what I সমস্যা তোর সাথে আমার এখনো যেটা হয় সেটা হচ্ছে এত লাউড মনিটরে মিক্স আর গান শুনে যতবার ওর সাথে কাজ করছি এবং ভয়েস দিয়ে যখন আমি নিজে শুনতে আসছি আমি লাইক ইটস সো লাউড, রাইট? এত জোরে শুনে, বাট
ফুয়াদের কিছু কয়েকটা ম্যাজিক্যাল ব্যাপার আছে, হ্যাঁ, যেটা অন্যদের ইটস ভেরি ডিফারেন্ট, অন্যদের অনেকে নাই জিনিসটা। এক হচ্ছে গিয়ে ও এখনও প্রবাবলি সোনার ইউজ করে ফর এডিটিং মিউজিক, which blows my mind. And
2022 তে
I don't know. I haven't asked him, but last time I saw him was Sonar Kaza, and he's really good at it. হ্যাঁ, ও just এমনি করতেছে, like
it's super fast, no doubt about
ফাটাফাট
it.
করে ফেললাম। The other thing, which is the most important thing, is until I played with him and then heard like the near final product, আমি জীবনে ভাবিনি যে আমি এগুলো বাজাবো, because he could bring out that thing. Of course there was a little bit of snipping, right? But he could bring that thing out. It's not with me, people he has worked with, ওই জিনিসটা he can somehow identify যে এরে দিয়ে এটা করানো যায়, and this song requires this, right? And like Merinapa, right? I never listened to her song before, I played in a couple of her songs that Fuad produced. ওনাকে দিয়ে এই গানে I could never think of that, but he did, and he did a phenomenal job, right? Sadly I forgot the name of the song,
but we are getting all this.
তুমি ওটা শুনলে you love it.
All right.
I don't know if you've heard it, but নাম বলে জানতে পারতা, too bad. But so ফুয়াদের মধ্যে ওই জিনিসটা আছে,
Yeah. আমার যেটা মনে হয় অনেক ফাস্ট, that's what I really like about him. দাবাদাব
হ্যাঁ, he's like a machine, man.
I'm sure তোমাকে যে জায়গার সেকশনে সোলো বাজানোর কথা তোমাকে দিয়ে 10 বার বাজাইছেন, লাইক ওকে ডান, বাকিটুকু আমার।
হ্যাঁ,
I know, right?
10 বার তো ভাই বেশি বললা।
হ্যাঁ,
2-3টা টেক দিছি, আচ্ছা এই জায়গায় একটু অ্যাডজাস্ট করে যে একটা খোঁচা মারো, ওই জায়গায় একটা এই নোটটা দাও, হয়ে গেছে, যাও। তারপর একটা does his thing, and একটা ভালো একটা জিনিস বের হয়।
One of your আমার খুব ফেভারিট একটা সোলো, your non-nemesis solo is Gaibona.
Yeah, see, he did his magic with those solos. I remember playing them exactly like that. But he did his magic, and
there. That was a beautiful solo. That's amazing. And here you are saying guitar coordination.
ভাই কিছু জিনিস মেমোরিজ থাকা ভালো, ওগুলো মেমোরিজ আছে।
That's why we have exes. Memories. All right, okay. So, Maher, thanks for all this talk, but I don't want to end it right now. So much fun talking to you.
Yeah, I feel like there's so much to talk about,
Yeah, a lot. Music নিয়ে তো অনেক কথা বলার।
We did a few things. What was it? ওই যে Didrus
Yeah,
That
Tumi Ki
video
Chhara
was
Dibe.
Tumi Ki Chhara Dibe. That was
Yeah.
fun. That was fun.
Another
Up until a
iconic.
certain point, it was fun.
Yeah,
Before
Porgy, it
anyway,
wasn't fun.
yeah.
Porgy, I was like, bye bye. I don't want to do this anymore. So,
Yeah.
আমার এই জিনিসটা আছে, আমি correct me if I'm wrong. I have this thing. At times I feel like I am wrong, but at times I feel like I'm right. When a song, regardless of how good it is or how generic it is, if I have to play a song a lot of times, I know মানুষ পছন্দ করে. I know they love it. But if I have to play it every shote, this becomes one of my most hated songs. I don't know. Correct me if I'm
Obocheton, Kobe, songs like that. Yeah. When studio থেকে বের হওয়ার আগে you're sick of that song. So yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those songs. ধরো তুমি কি সাড়া দিবে? I'm not talking about the song, you know. This there's a song called Black Air Blues and Road. Yeah, these two songs was like Amar Junno was like, oh man, I can't do this anymore. So yeah, how do you deal with that? যখন তোমার ধরো গান গাইতে হয় যে you know you just don't want to play it anymore, but you have to play it because অডিয়েন্সে এমন একজন কেউ আছে যার জন্য ওইটা হচ্ছে ফার্স্ট এক্সপিরিয়েন্স.
Well, if you're talking about songs like Kobe and Obocheton, they have to be part of the list. Even now, I'm sure, part of the song list wherever you go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's got the mass appeal.
How do you keep the love alive? I want to know. I want to learn. How do you keep the love alive for that certain song? I struggle with it.
I don't know if you
immensely.
can. Because there are certain situations where you can kind of experiment with the live version. Obviously, the live version.
Yeah.
যে গানটা অবচেতন দিয়ে যেরকম করা হয়েছিল, like right before the solo, there's a part where intro যেরকম ওই পার্টটাও same, but we changed it a bit. So that was new. That was kind of refreshing. So we stuck with it. Or we did on loop. We get bored, change something else, you know. So এরকম করে it works for any part of the song.
True.
Drums, guitars, vocal line, anything.
True.
Mix it up a little bit.
So I'm getting this thing. তোমার সাথে কথা বলে আজকে you know you managed to you know keep yourself completely দুইটা মানে compartmentalize করছো. But when I talk to you, I can see or I can feel that you remember all this and you have those memories with yourself. You cannot deny what happened, what you were back then. You
Facts.
cannot. How do you deal with the fact যখন মানুষ এখনো their you know audience being audience when they write something যে you know উফ মাহের ভাই যখন ছিল.
I like how you said that.
I try to enact how they write. উফ উনি যখন ছিল তখন ওটা হচ্ছে গোল্ডেন এরা.
Golden era.
জন ভাই ছাড়া তো ব্ল্যাক চিন্তাই করা যায় না. So how do you receive all this, you know, when they talk about all this shit? How do you you know receive as in বলতেছি মানে what do you think of all this?
I don't think about it at all, to be honest. Whenever I read these comments, if I ever read these comments, it's just like anything else. It's in passing, you know. So I don't really focus on those things.
But here's the thing, when they comment like that মানে তখন মনে হয় যে ওরা চায় আমরা ফিল করি কিছু. ইস খুব মিস করতেছি, প্লিজ ফিরে আসেন একবার একটা রিউনিয়ন কনসার্টের জন্য.
It's more about how they feel, right? Versus how I feel.
You feel
Yeah,
exactly.
they feel it, whatever they feel, and they want to express that in their comments. To me, achami, just porlam, sure, okay.
Thank you.
That's about it. I mean,
That's where it's done.
yeah. What's gone is gone. But inside story, inside scoop, whatever experiences we had, we know. But to the outsider, they don't know any better, right?
What if your daughter becomes like naturally attracted to music and want like pursue করতে চায় music not professionally, just for the love of it? What would be your suggestion?
My suggestion?
Yeah.
That's a conversation I'll need to have with her when the time's right. Maybe in
Maybe in 20 years.
13 or
Or
14
13,
years.
14
Yeah.
years, yeah.
14 years, she'll be 16.
Oh,
so-
yeah. That's a good time. That's a good time.
Yeah. So, no, I'll tell her the facts. I'll tell her the way I think and why I think like that, if it makes sense to her. I mean, if she turns out to be a sensible, rational human being, then I have no worries. By the way,
Yeah.
she's going to be two. She's not even two yet.
Acha.
She likes to sing.
MashaAllah.
You can tell that she's got a sense of tune, and not really there, but she's got a sense of beat as well. So Shurtal covered.
Gene talks, bro. Gene talks. You cannot stop.
My wife, she's tone deaf. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
She's tone deaf, and she gets annoyed যে oh my god বাসা এখন আরেকটা আছে যে সারাক্ষণ টেবিলে বাড়ি দেয় and করে, you know.
Another one.
It's just another guy, another person
Another person.
is added to this equation.
That's really
it's
good
fun.
to know.
We'll
It makes me really happy. That's amazing.
Bap mein mile, we like to annoy the mother.
Mother. That's a nice picture right
It's
there.
a fun time.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for all
Yeah,
this
man.
conversation. I love it. Before you go, I want to ask you, যে ধরো তুমি যখন ছিল তখনকার scene আর এখনকার scene, you have zero idea. But if you have to, take one good part of the scene that you were back then, ওই টাইমটাতে, take one good part and, share this to my audience or to the audience, what would that be?
I think we already talked about this. The why in the music. It doesn't matter কোন generation থেকে আসো or the future generations. If you have to do music, not only music, anything you do, you have to ask yourself why you're doing it. Is it to satisfy yourself or someone else? Right? So you keep that element constant throughout your life in whatever you do, whatever profession you're into, creative, non. Ask yourself this one question. Why am I doing this? What's the point of this?
Why am I even here?
We'll get to that in another conversation.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot,
Yeah, man,
man.
good talk.
Good talk.